Alright, Sage being here in Neverwinter Nights. Uh, we're about to head to Luskin. I think everything here is wrapped up, really.
I understand that you have found information pinpointing the cult within Luskin. That is good. I believe I have found a way inside the city. An old friend of mine is a sergeant who works the city gates. I have convinced him that the plague is no longer a threat, and as a favor, he has agreed to allow my agents and I into the city. I will give your description to him, so he will allow you entry. Erebeth and I shall be moving our base of operations to Luskin, so we will meet you there.
Be sure your friends let me in the city.
I'm quite confident, yes. He does not have the power to let us back out, however. Once we are inside Luskin, we are inside for good, and cannot return to Port Last.
What is you and Erebeth doing there?
I will be attempting to find you a way into the host tower, of course, so you can explore your lead further. Erebeth insists on coming to Luskin as well. I believe she feels a strong need to see this through, to take vengeance for what happened to Femvik. I shall not deny her.
Okay.
Erebeth and I shall begin moving our base to. Remember to finish up any loose ends you have, and to take what companions and gear you need before going to Luskin. You will not be able to leave the city once you enter. Go then, and do what you must.
Alright. Where's Tommy? Want to know more about you. Well, there's only so much you can know about me, my lord. Tommy Undergalsby, the most famous happening rogue in all of Countport. That all about sums it up. Oh, I've had tales of treachery and deceit, lies which have been told to wide-eyed little Camelishite children from years, but I doubt you'd be interested in that. All you know is you want to tell me. Well, see, Tommy had a bunch of friends and a bunch of names in his time. There's only been both. My arch name is Samuel Bumbleheart. Sammy and I were pals dating back to the good old days when we used to run wild streets as free little urchins stealing avocados and pitching purses. When I started to gain a bit of notoriety of my own, however, Sammy became a mite jealous, poor lad. Fame was always Sammy's thing. He's always loved attention ever since he did that striptease in a half-work bar to keep from being pummeled. I always thought he was a bit of a diva. What'd he do? Sammy was content for a while, but he got mad when folk always recognized me first. Guards would chase me down the street and complain, why don't they chase me? Oh, he tried to choke me up as a thief, not being very good, however. It's only landed him in prison. In Calisham, that means you're as good as hung. I busted him out the first time, but it only embarrassed him. No good deed goes unpunished, so Sammy had to take action. You think he'd be helpful? You think he'd be thankful for help? All the truth is, I didn't really mean to break him out. It was an accident. The kind that brings down the half prison and causes a mass escape happens all the time. Trust me. I don't know why Sammy was so mad. He just really seemed to lose completely. All that shouting and turning red in the face was just so sad. After all, he only broken a couple of legs. He could still walk if it was limp. Could I be held completely to blame? At any rate, Sammy decided enough was enough. It was time to ruin his best pal, Tom once in a while. What he'd do. Sammy came up with a plan, not the brightest plan, I suppose. He was never much of a planner. His last plan, in fact, was a heist that ended up with him being left naked and cold on a ship to Mazteca. Well, all right, I did forget to go pick him up, but it was his plan. His plan would be different, however, hee. So we saw. I thought I'd tell you about it sometime, my lord. Right, I was telling you about Sammy's big plan to ruin old Tommy. Well, yes. Mardo, I was telling you about Sammy's plans to ruin old Tommy, was I? Since Sammy Knox, his plan to have little Tommy thrown in prison just like he'd been. He was going to steal the most fabulous gem in Calisham. I was able to take the blame for it. But I didn't say that Sammy was the smartest happening on the block. His mind was being stuck in a harvest in a Kalmashite prison, ravished daily by burly convict cellmates, was worth almost any price. Ah, Sammy, maybe he was still resented by stealing both his lady friends. Actually, I stole his wife too. Yeah, it was years before. Anyway, since Sammy was so skilled, he had to come up with some help. He ended up leveraging himself to a rather nasty elf by the name of Rhaegar. Rhaegar was good. He was also the meanest rogue in Kalashan, and Sammy had to practically become his servant to get a degree. Rhaegar was also a pretty good pal of mine, though Sammy didn't know that. Thing was, I've been planning to heist the jaw myself all along. When Rhaegar tipped me off to Sammy's plan, I laughed so hard I about peed my britches. I did the only thing, of course, I made a plan out of my own and went ahead with the heist. Until the night of the heist, I didn't let on that I knew Sammy was up to. He acted all innocent, of course, didn't say a word to me or even told me to get lost. It was quite a ruse, I tell you, but I saw through it all. He was no friend of mine, after all. He had become my arch nemesis. You're arch what? Exactly, like a cunning serpent, he had hid himself as my friend. However, never beat pants in front of the Maliki Garl Squire. Still, I wanted to teach Sammy a lesson. What happened to him the night the heist was quite tragic. I'll laugh you wish, my lord, but it's a truly awful one thing I regret in my life. I shall have to tell you about it sometime. Let's go, Okay. Ah, the night of the jewel heist. Right. I suppose you've been a friend, my lord. I can tell you about it. Wow. This is a mouthful, man. The gem we were after was no other than the fabled star of Kalmashan. It's not the most valuable ruby in the land, but certainly one of the more notorious. According to legend, the Pashas of Kalmashan gifted it to their wives on their wedding night. The stone glows from within, filled with the tears of their lost innocent, or so the story goes. My daring plan of Sammy's was to pick the stone from the depths of the royal palace, from the very chambers of the Sly Pasha's wife herself. What are you going to do to Sammy? I wasn't actually sure. I was still getting used to the idea that Sammy had turned into my arch nemesis from the Wizard of All. At any rate, the Night King, Sam and Rhaegar stole into the palace ahead of me. Sammy had no idea of my presence. Rhaegar left a trail that was quite easy to follow. I remember being impressed at the time that things were going so well. No guards alerted, no problems whatsoever. I thought maybe Sammy's foul luck should finally turn for once. Well, of course, Sammy tripped over a bowl and the carpet took a spill into the suit of armor. It fell over him into two others, and the resulting shatter would have woken Nebuchadnezzar's dead brother-in-law. Poor Rhaegar was white as Virgin's Danny Bottom when he saw the horde of soldiers charging down the hall. He leapt out the window without first considering what was over. That were over the line pit, poor fella. Went with Sammy. The guards ran right past a pile of armor. Didn't even think it to look for a small halfling bit or another. Lucky for Sammy. Anyway, give old Sammy some credit. For some reason, he climbed out from under the armor. He still came for the ruby. Found me picking it, plucking it from the pedestal, in fact. He wasn't surprised to see me, to say the least. I started giving him a piece of my mind. As I recall, why Sammy? I said, why would you betray me? I've never done anything to you. Oh, he liked that, be sure. I never got to hear a response. He just turned all purple and his eyes bulged out and he sputtered a lot. Looked rather like someone outraged Kabul. Guards ran in just in. It was pandemonium. There was fighting and screaming and running. Last I remember, I dived into the sea and woke up 3 days later on a freight bound for Ursult. Want to hear the funny part? For all that, Sammy was a terrible thief. He was a wonderful pickpocket. Sold the ruby off of me, he did, and I had nothing to show for it at all. What happened to Sammy? Not sure exactly. I heard he ended up on a slave ship and somehow got sold to one of the high captains in Alaskan. Bless him, poor sod. Me need to track down the ruby ones in these days. Sorry, Kalmashan. Still be worth to make sure and famous. Maybe we find it sometimes. Thanks, my lord. Quite friend yourself. Now let's go on with your quest, shall we? Okay. Yeah, I wanted to rage after that. Yeah. Ugh. I've got to get this done and update these guys. Holy crap.
Good to see you again. Is there something you need? Is there something you need?
I just want to look at him. 85. Armor class. Crabola. Alright. If we both travel together, we want to know more about you. Alright, hold on. Get things situated before I carry on with more of this, because this is a lot of talking. As you know, I came from Lantan, an island renowned for its inventions and scientific advances. From what you can rightly conclude that I myself am of an analytical and curious nature. You also know I'm a sorcerer, and from that you can no doubt draw further conclusions. Though in all truth, my chosen profession is rather uncommon among the Latinese culture. Why there's not so many magic type guys where you come from? Mystery arcane are not as ably sought out in my homeland as they are in other places. We have inventions to accomplish. Many of the things others rely on magic to perform. In my homeland, there's no shame attached to what to do. It is merely seen as unusual, though I will admit it's not future for my father and history for me. I was his eldest son, and I suppose my father wanted me to follow in his own footsteps. But flowers, plants, and gardens and health much interest me. Is your father a druid? Druids worship nature, Ron, but we in Lantans seek to control and direct nature, to extract that which is useful and remove that which is harmful. Agronomy is a well-respected field in Lantan. My father is one of the finest horticulturists on the island. His pioneering research in cross-pollination and grafting techniques were responsible for the creation of 26 unique species of plants. Because of my father's work, Lantan's agricultural yields increased, as did the island's supply of medical herbs. The beauty and variety of our flowering species is unparalleled anywhere on the mainland. You sound like a great man. A finer gnome could not be found the length and breadth of Faerun, Brom. I suppose that is why I found the gulf has grown between us so painful to accept. What do you mean? My father and I had a falling out. Please. This is scope for me to speak of. I'm not sure I wish to discuss that with you right now.
Is there something?
But maybe if I share the tale with someone else, who can ease some of the pain and guilt I feel over that happened. This is a logical assumption, isn't it? My father's days of groundbreaking research in agronomy are behind him. He's an old man content to putter in his own garden, happily living out his days among his friends and family. But even so, he still received gifts of strange and exotic plants from distant lands so that he can add them to his garden. It's said that in spring when the flowers bloom, my father's yard is the most beautiful place in Lantan. It truly is his pride and joy. You know what happened? You destroyed his garden, right? I wish that had been the only consequence of my actions, Brom. My father asked me to tend his garden for a few weeks while I went to visit a friend on the other side of the island. Everything went well the first week. I found the work enjoyable, enough that hardly as stimulating as my sorcerer's studies. I even came up with a more efficient way watering system he could use on his plants. By the second week, I noticed the beginning of a rotweed infestation. Rotweed, you may not have heard of that before. Rotweed is a wild, noxious, crawling vine with foul, pungent odor. Unchecked, it will overrun any garden in a matter of weeks, choking the life from every other plant. Even worse, the roots release a powerful toxin to the north, to the earth, poisonous soil so nothing else will grow on the land for years. And like most unwanted garden guests brought, weed is virtually impossible to kill. What do you do? The only way to deal with rotweed is through fire applied directly to the vines. If you can make the fire hot enough, the flames will be absorbed into the plant and burn down to the root, killing the weed. I still remember my father as a child using oil and torch to destroy a rotweed infestation. It was long and difficult work. The vine is resistant to fire and it's difficult to make the flames hot enough to wither the roots. However, I had no such worries. I went out to the garden that morning. The infestation had only just begun and I had a secret weapon. After all, I was a sorcerer. With visions of how pleased my father would be at the efficiency of my methods, I approached the weed and unleashed a burning hand spell that directly at the vine. What happened? Did something bad happen? I made the mistake of approaching without all the necessary data. My actions were logical in the context of my knowledge, but I was operating under a fatally flawed assumption. There was a reason my father used oil and torches to eliminate infestation rather than sending for the local mage. Magic fire destroys rotweed, but the heat causes the plants to violently explode. The vine burst, spewing out molten sap that ignited everything it touched. The roots ignited and the earthly columns of flame erupted in the soil, raining blazing bits of vegetation down all around me. Was you hurt? Miraculously, I was unharmed by the conflagration. Though the entire garden was soon ablaze, my father's house and the sides of my neighbors on the other side. Wow. No one's injured, and for the least I'm grateful. By the time the fire brigade doused the flames, all three houses were ruined. My father's prize from the garden was nothing but ash. You make 3 homes burn down and you wrecked your daddy's garden? That awful. I'm well aware of the terrible nature of my tragedy and what cost it had on my father. My father was a wealthy man, so he did not begrudge me the compensation he had to pay to his neighbors for the cost of replacing his own home. But his garden was utterly destroyed, and for me, that was never, and for that, he was never forgiven me. Oh, man. Maybe someday I can make it up to him. Some gesture to heal the pain I've caused him. Like what?
Is there something you...
The pain of what happened with my father, how I destroyed the garden. He has spent a lifetime cultivating it as a very personal pain. But you have proven yourself to your good friend after all. It was you who helped me find out leaving bread. I suppose it's only logical I expect you might be able to help me and my father as well. What you need me to do? I know I can never replace the many varieties of plants and flowers that were once my father's garden, but perhaps if I made a grand gesture, he will find it hard to forgive me. Throughout my father's life, there has been one flower he has longed to see. Among the great library lanterns, there are accounts of the prism blossom, a living, growing flower whose petals are said to change color and reflect light as they're made of crystal, so you must not just buy him one. The account of the flower occurs in only one text, a travel diary of an explorer who died several years ago after returning from a journey to the north. No one has been able to locate this rare flower or its gleaming crystal seeds, though many have spent a lifetime searching for it. It may be that the prism blossom is only a myth, Grom, but if I find the seeds of this flower and give them to my father, I'm certain he would forgive me for destroying his garden. I will not abandon the search for the cultists behind the plague. I pledge to aid in destroying those who have released the foul taint of the ring of death. Part of me is hoping your journeys will be looking up to stumble across the crystalline seeds of prism blossom. Me got weird seeds here. This be what you need? I see. Yes, those do seem to be made of glass, and their shape and size are consistent with the accounts in travel diary. You had done it, Grom. When I present these some Ollie, he's going to forgive me more than I thought. You need to give me reward. Your thanks for reward enough. Although I have no reward to repay you, Grom, there are many yet creating me this quest. Lanterns artifacts draw their energy from the thrill of discovery and the wonder of exploration. This remarkable discovery may have been augmented the powers of the ring I gave you earlier. In any case, I thank you once again, Grump. I will not leave your side yet. Only after we locate the cult behind the wind of death will return to my homeland and present ECs to my father. Oh boy.
Is there something you need?
Ooh. Alright, so now I've got a problem. Wait. I do have a problem now. Tommy. What did you need?
I figured they'd drag me. Eh?
Oh boy. I gotta wonder if I sold that to somebody. Oh boy. I might have. But I've got to check all the vendors, man. Shit. Let's check the vendors.
My friend.
It's not here. I don't think I sold anything to her.
Welcome to the shop.
Being here, I'm thinking. Wait.
Can I help you?
I'll tell ye.
I don't think I sold anything to the rogue. Which I'm thinking is over here. I've got to be careful here. Ooh. That's why that's good. Oh, what's that? I'll have to look that up later. Man, that's a mess. Grimgaw. God.
We meet. Is there some?
Not too bad. Its AC is 28. Holy crap. Wow. We're 11th level? Alright, that is, but he doesn't have the hit points. Wait, am I hurt? Alright.
Is there some?
Alright. We have the long death. Train, study, and serve our masters. We strive to transcend the earthly world through mental discipline and philosophical understanding of death. We worship the very essence of Silent Lord and wish to honor the tools prepare us for our inevitable escape and pain, suffering, torment, agony. Our beliefs to most. What enemies are you talking about? Our embrace of the Silent Lord has brought us to conflict with many who do not understand the beauty of death. Many fear the mortal, and for most, we simply use pain, anguish, torture, and suffering to release them from the spirit. We shall dare them for the cold embrace of the Silent Lord. Let their some and good extremes to avoid their fate. They use foul rituals and dark necromancy to deny the Silent Lord that which is his due. You talk about undead stuff, right? Like zombies and liches and stuff. The undead are a foul abomination, a denial of the natural order. We have the long deaths. We're in a constant conflict with necromancers and their minions. I've seen firsthand the horrors of war with the undead. This not.
Is there something you need?
Earlier, I mentioned my Or's hatred of the abomination that is undeath grown, and I hinted at my own experience in battling such evil. I'm not eager to dredge up those memories, but we stand together and serve the tale. After I had come to join the Order of Long Death, one of my fellow monks returned to the monastery with ill news. He had discovered the lair of a powerful lich. Our service to the Silent Lord demands that we destroy such an opponent to death, so we march forth to destroy the foul creature and its unholy existence. I myself never faced that lich in battle, but I was one of many assigned the task of destroying the lich's zombies and skeleton service, and never have I felt such revulsion of terror during battle. We thought you liked killing death. The serious beauty of death, the exquisite agony of a mangled soldier's screams well up in a glorious crescendo before ending in a single perfect note of eternal silence. The writhing torment of a plaguing body is transformed to the magnificent truth of frozen corpse forever stilled. But when a corpse is not still, when the dead continue to shamble and stumble forward in a gross caricature of living flesh, where's death's beauty then? You not know, you're so squeamish. Order to kill zombies, scores of zombies in the crypt that day. Their bodies disintegrated beneath my blows in a shower of rotting flesh, yet they pressed inexorably forward. But the true horror was yet to come. From the back of the tomb where the house-ranking monks of the order battled the Lich itself, makes the dark necromancy spilled out over the battlefield. Several of my companions had fallen during the battle, and as the foul smell touched their corpses, they clambered to their feet. Zombies, under the will of the enemy we sought to destroy. You had to kill your own friends? He did not fear death, and I had not been able to bring the Saint Lord's touch to my fallen comrades. I would not have felt such revulsion at this memory. But a zombie has no mind. It feels nothing. The pain that purifies and prepares for death has no effect on such creatures. The understanding that comes during the moment of such death is forever denied to such creatures. I destroyed the animated lumps of flesh that were once my brothers and sisters in order, but I could not truly kill them. The undead could never be given such release. What happened to Lich? Lich was destroyed, as were all of its minions. We burned his lair, setting fire to the crypt so that the dark magic might be cleared one from the sacred place of death. But even though we were ultimately victorious, the cost was terrible. The horror of the battle haunts me still, and does the fate of my fallen brothers and sisters from the order. Me sorry for what happened to your friends, Grimgraw. I think 3 words, Grom, though I do not truly understand. You bring death and destruction, but you do not understand it is sweet of long death. The true horror of what happened to my brothers and sisters is too terrible to comprehend. I vowed to free them from the torment of their undead. How are you going to do that? You are so firm of the silent Lord. You bring death and pain to the world. Yet you have secrets I am not ready to share with you. Yeah, okay, fine.
Is there something?
You have aided me find the ring of Alaganda. I believe you would have helped me bring death to her had she still me if we found her. Perhaps you could be service to my order once more, but without your aid, I fear my brother and sister will never escape the terrible fate. What need me do? I should begin by explaining that happened. We repaired the Lich's lair. The corpses of our own, those who had risen against us, were brought back to the monster of my order. There we sought to enact ancient ritual release their essence from the curse that had been bound to them to the animated corpse. The chains of death were not easily broken. The ancient rituals require rare components, and we had many casualties. Few were able to save, but others remained trapped and undead until we find some more of the necessary components of the ritual. What kind of component you look for? The component must come from the crypt of a powerful undead monster, but it must be something that has not yet been tainted by creatures of necromancy. For example, we require the preserved hand for an entered corpse from among its crypt. Only power of such an item can release the essence of my brother and sister in the grasp of the Silent Lord. I will not abandon the search for the cultists behind the plague. I have pledged to aid you in destroying those who release the Beltane of the Willing Death. Okay, I know where that's at. I just have to be able to pick it up.
Is there something you need?
Me got mummy hand here. Is this what you need? Let me see. Yes, this is the work of taint undeath has not yet contaminated the desiccated flesh of this lamb. Look at the severed hand, Grom. See how the withered flesh has grown so tight, and with it, then it exposes the delicate profession of the bones beneath it. Isn't it beautiful? I thank you for this, Grom. On behalf of the Order of the People, I have no reward to give you, but to save the blessing order. You need not give me reward. You thanks be reward enough. You'll find that the blessing has enhanced the properties of the amulet I gave you when you found Eleganda's ring for me. Once again, Grom, I thank you. Now let us return to the Hazkahan. Alright, let's see what's going on there. Wow. I don't know where the star count machine is for uh uh Tommy. Am I forgetting anybody?
It is a pleasure to see you again. Yes? Yes? Is there something you need?
Yeah, I want to see what he can do. 24. Points is really low. HD's not so hot either.
Yes? Is there...
There are no great secrets about me, Grum. I am what I am. My father was an orc and my mother was a Utgard of the Red Tribe. Red Tiger Tribe. I know nothing of my father. My mother would never speak of him, but I was raised among the Red Tiger Tribe and the customs, traditions of Utgard people. I do not know what more I can tell you. Tell me about Utgards. We must know about their customs. I expect that Utgard, much like people, are both barbarians, are we not? We Utgard are simple but noble people. We hunt the herds and live with land. We worship the gods of our ancestors and the totems of our tribes. Some of the city's fears, they call us bloodthirsty citizens, but they are ignorant of our ways. We're fierce warriors of great courage and honor, even if we do not understand. What's it like for you growing up? I will not lie, I was never allowed to forget about my father's tainted orc blood, yet if the tribe did not embrace me, at least they tolerated me. Like other young boys of our tribe, I ran and climbed, and swam and grew strong. I learned to hunt, fish. Death, time came for me to prove myself worthy of the tribe. I left in search of glory and honor in the outside world. I proved my spirit was true. I was sent to Luskan. Go there. It's close to city to our tribe, nothing I knew. I was foul, rotten character. If I had known, if I had, would not have gone. I've tried to forget my time there.
Yes?
As I told you, I went to Luskan in search of glory and honor, but there was no honor to be found in that wretched city. As I found a warm welcome in Luskan, half work accepted there as nowhere else, and I quickly found work serving one of the high captain rulers of the city. It was bloody, brutal work. Soldiers from different factions were always battling the streets. Many men died by my hand during the brief there. I killed them because of fate to kill them. Because he served a different master, there was no honor in these battles, only sense of shameful death. If you not kill them, then just kill you. You don't understand. All the killing, all the bloodshed, I liked it. It stirred my blood. Each morning I could taste the coming battles in my tongue and feel the rush of combat in my veins. I reveled in the slaughter like an animal, like a beast, if it fed the dark taint of my father's orc blood and left a stain on my soul. I do not know how far I would have fallen had fate not intervened and saved me from myself. Fate, what do you mean? My fear in battle earned me a promotion. I was sent to the Luskan flesh markets to guard the slaves in their stockades. I first named the stockades. The guards brought in a new batch of slaves. Among them was an old man, naked and feeble. I recognized the tattoos on his face, the markings of the Oathcart holy man. I didn't know him. He was from another tribe, but seeing him brought in hands shackled behind his back brought shame crashing down upon me. You helped him get away from prison? At first I did nothing. The old man looked at me like in the past, and I saw in his eyes that he knew I was one of the Uthgar, and he knew what I had become. Without warning, the old man threw himself at the nearest guard, a foolish gesture of defiance, but he was still shackled and bound. He was knocked to the floor. The guards began to beat him. My world vanished beneath the veil of blood-red rage. When I came to him, I sensed I was still bathed in gore. The other guards in the blockade all lay dead by my hand. Good, them guards deserve it. The old man lay bleeding on the floor, stabbed by one of the guards during the fight. As I crouched over him, I saw his wounds were fatal. He gazed up at me and spoke in a voice choked with, "Free the others." With my axe, I hacked away the chains of the other slaves and stockades. Once they had all planned for the night, I returned to the old man's side. Go ahead, he said with his dying breath. I could not do nothing before I fled, before my actions were discovered. I thank you for your words, Crom, but I know I would like to believe you, but I know when I'm still in Luskan, I know what wild appetites I fled. I cannot deny my father's blood is within me. I can only hope to overcome this blight so that I may someday prove my spirit worthy of Utgard. Only then will my tribe welcome me back. Until then, when my burden is to bear, one of many. What do you mean, one of many? You've begun a pram.
Yes?
Okay. You have been a good true friend to me. I have been reluctant to speak to you of this, but you did help me recover my mother's birth. Perhaps you can help me with this as well. I was not completely honest with you about the reason I left my tribe. It's true I've seen a way to prove myself, but there's another reason as well. My mother's death was a violent one. He was really slaying a bandit raid on our camp. I have vowed not to return to the tribe until I venture her of murder. You the one who killed her? I was out hunting with a band of warriors when the attack came. The warriors had and waited for us to leave, and then sneaked in with advantage numbers. My tribe outnumbered nearly 2 to 1, but they managed to drive the attackers off. 3 warriors fell in the battle, as did my mother. How are you gonna find bandit who killed her? Do you remember when I told you my vision quest, how my brother's brooch would bring me dreams to guide my quests? Last night I had a dream. Mother's spirit sent me this vision. I'm certain of it. In my dream I saw a terrible axe dripping blood from its notched blade. It was often used to slay her. If I find the axe, I'll know how I found her killer. You may think me cruel, but I believe I will find the axe once Mother's spirit will truly be at peace. I will not abandon the search for the cults behind it. You not worry. We find axe and...
Yes? Is there
Oh, I think I know where it is.
Yes?
You got axe with notched blade. This be axe you from your dream? Yes, that is the blood-soaked blade that has haunted my dreams. Then, the one who wields it is dead. Yes, it was... He's some dwarf named Gorkin. They told me there was a sinister dwarf among the bandits, one of the men who escaped the battle. Then it is over. My mother's revenge and spirit can finally rest. Thank you. Once again, you have proven yourself to be the greatest of friends. Words cannot properly explain the gratitude I feel. I regret I cannot offer you nothing as a reward that has broken my spirit in battle. You need not give me reward. Your thanks be reward enough. Thank you again, my mother's revenge and her spirits at peace. Did I miss something here? Damn it. Ow. He's going to be a little tough now. Alright. Great, tell me back. Be a thing of note, I will continue with other parts in the next video. I've got to go out I'm looking for Tommy's uh, gym, but I don't know where it's at now. So I have to look that up. 'Cause I'm truly lost without that.
I figured they'd drag you.
So we'll do that next time.